Well, good morning guys, what a fantastic morning. Today I'm doing something a little bit different. I'm wanting to show you don't need a load of fancy equipment to do bird photography. Like you see people coming around with big lenses, the 600mm, the 500mm and so on, even like myself with the 150-600 Sigma. You don't need all that. I've got here is one of my first cameras. It's the Nikon D5500 with the 70-300 kit lens. It's the minimum aperture on it's 4.5 to 6.3. So it's a really standard kit lens. There's no image stabilization or anything. You just zoom. You can manual focus a little bit, but it's mainly just for the zoom. My camera, well, it's like I said, it's the D5500 by Nikon, and it's discontinued now, which is really surprising because it is a really good camera. I believe it's 24 megapixels, and yeah, it still works fantastic. You've got all the easy functions like the auto function, the manual aperture priority, shutter priority and such like. So yeah, I'm just here at Bempton now, and I'm going to show you what these little cameras can do. So we'll get to it now and we'll speak to you in a few minutes. This is absolutely fantastic. I'm even having problems with this. The birds are flying so close to me, even 70mm is too much. I could do something like a 50mm prime or something. It's fantastic. The only drawback with this camera is it only shoots 5 frames a second, whereas my normal camera will shoot 10. So I do miss quite a few shots, but by what I've seen so far, I'm getting some really fantastic images. And I'll put the images on as usual throughout the video. You may have already seen some of them. But yeah, you don't need a load of expensive equipment. I think a camera like this will run you about £500. When I bought this one, I chose to pay a little bit more and got 2 kit lenses. I got the 18-55mm and the 70-300, and it works fantastic. The only reason why I switched to my D500 was purely because of the frame rates, because I was missing a lot of shots with this camera. With my D500 I shoot 10 frames a second, but with this it's half that, it's only 5. So that was the only main reason why I switched. And then I wanted to get closer to some of the wildlife and birds, and that's why I opted for the Sigma 150-600mm. But yeah, this camera is done me fantastic. So we'll spend a few hours up here and I'll go around doing some photography and we'll see what we can get. But yeah, for these birds, as you can see behind me, some of them are flying really close. It's absolutely fantastic. We'll see what we can get. I'm sure I'll get some smaller birds like the guillemots and the razorbills, may even see some puffins. But yeah, you don't need fancy equipment, so we'll go on now and we'll see what we do. This is a little spot where there isn't really the fence, so you can get pretty close to the edge of the cliff if you know what you're doing. So I just thought I'd run through a few things with you and get back to it. I've got this on shutter priority because with your bigger cameras it's not quite as easy to change all your settings like your aperture and your ISO, because with your bigger cameras you've got dials that you can do that with and buttons. With this one you have to take the camera away from your eyes and do it on the back of the LCD screen, which then you probably lose a few shots. But that's the only real drawback I'm finding. A lot of it comes down to experience and practice. Like, I've been using my other camera now for a good couple of years, and to switch back to this one, it's a little learning curve, don't get me wrong, but a lot of, with it being the same make, Nikon, the menu system's very much the same, so I was easily able to reset this one back up for the new settings that I do. So I got this pretty much on the same settings. I've got it on auto ISO today, auto white balance, and got it in shutter priority. Now I've got the shutter speed set up, I believe it was 2500th of a second, with it being birds in flight. I think I've got a half decent one of a puffin in flight, I'm not too sure. I'll have to double check when I get back home on the computer, but if I do I'll show you a picture of it. And I'm just having fun. Gannets in flight, pretty much no problem. I haven't managed to catch a lot of razorbills in flight, they've been too far away. That's the only drawback with this, with me not having my 150 to 600. I'm limited to 300mm, which is still fantastic, and with 24 megapixels I may be able to crop in a fair bit. So we'll have a look to see what images I can get. I won't know until I get back home onto the computer, but I'm having really good fun just with a standard camera that pretty much most people can afford. So I'm just proving my point that you don't need a lot of fancy equipment. So there's some razorbills down here on the cliff now. I haven't really seen any guillemots at the moment, but oh, tell a lie, I think there's one down there. But yeah, I'm having real good fun. So I'll carry on now and I'll put up a few images for you. The one thing I have noticed with this camera is the autofocus. It's not quite as fast as my others. It's still pretty decent, but it doesn't lock on as quick as my other camera. That's mainly to do with the lens as well, because my other lens is a lot better quality than this kit lens, so it's made a lot better basically. With this being a kit lens, it's a cheaper range. I mean, you can pick this lens up for a couple of £100, whereas my 150 to 600, that was £800. So that's where the difference comes in. But yeah, I'm still having a ton of fun with this one today. It's good to get back to basics, if you know what I mean. Just to see how far you can go. I mean, I'm getting some really nice shots. I've just got a really nice shot of a razorbill. I was practically stood right above it. I wasn't too close to the cliff edge, but I just peered over a little bit and the razor bill were right there. I'll show you the picture just now. Yeah, it's been fantastic. I found a little colony of guillemots. These isn't a great image as such because they're all grouped together, so I might just take a picture right now of the group. So yeah, not too bad. I'll put that up now. And yeah, it's been a fantastic morning. I've been here less than an hour, to be honest with you, and with how close the birds are coming, it's absolutely unreal. One of my friends had been kicking himself today because he came up here not so long back and all the birds were pretty well low down, but today they're really high. So but yeah, I'm not too sure what else I can prove to you about you don't need an expensive camera. I mean, today you may even get away with one of these point and shoots. Yeah, you'll miss a lot of pictures, but you may even get some fantastic pictures because it's been that easy today. It's unreal. I can't really put this back to well, I could do it as a point and shoot. I could set it to automatic, which is the setting right there, that auto, and let's have a look. I'll have to use the back button focus. Just wait for a bird to come around. When you want one, they fly off. Yeah, the auto settings not great because it's also changed how it focuses. So it's gone like onto 3D tracking, but it doesn't lock on because this camera is made for like tracking humans, so it's not really made for animals, so it's having a hard time locking onto the subject and following it. So it's more of a struggle with this, so it'll take a little bit more time and a little bit more practice, I believe. So yeah, like I say, it doesn't matter which camera you have, you can always get a decent picture of wildlife. So I'll close out the video now. If you've liked it, please give me a thumbs up. It really helps the channel to grow. I'm at about 123 subscribers now, which is fantastic, but let's see if we can get it up there. If you're new here, please consider subscribing if you've stayed this long, and we'll see you all again soon. So until then, take care, be safe, and bye for now.